You read the title or saw the thumbnail, we're talking about how your cell phone works. This video, by the way, is part of a series on how your phone works. I recommend you watch all previous videos to fully understand this one. But before I get into anything, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Thanks, Reddit user Brick Tamlin, for the suggestion, and I hope this helps. And for the video, we're gonna talk about the actual parts inside of your phone. First, the RAM, or Random Access Memory. The RAM of your phone stores data about currently running programs, and is like your short-term memory. And it also allows you to run multiple apps at once. The CPU, or Central Processing Unit. The CPU, or Central Processing Unit, is normally called the brain of your computer or phone. And for good reason. It does a lot of things, like orchestrate where information will go, performs calculations, runs programs, and generally performs actions. But basically, it does 3 steps: fetch, decode, and execute. In fetching, it fetches or receives an instruction from the RAM about the current program, and then passes it into the CPU. The CPU takes the 1 and 0 instruction and decodes it into actual doable signals. 1's being an electrical signal, 0 being a lack thereof. And these signals can now be executed. Fetch, decode, execute. And all of this takes place in the core that makes up a CPU. And nowadays, CPUs have multiple cores doing multiple fetch, decode, executes all at the same time. And the more fetch, decode, executes a second, the faster your CPU processes data. Then the graphics card, which makes the visuals of the stuff you see on your phone. The graphics card is much like the CPU, only it is designed specifically for performing the complex mathematical and geometric calculations to create the visual elements in your phone. Basically, it calculates the pixels that you see. And when the image is rendered, it is actually stored inside the graphics card's own little RAM, so it can remember the image for later when the graphics card wants to reuse it. Okay, now about the motherboard. The motherboard connects all the parts and pieces in your phone and directs the flow of information to and from the CPU. It is much like the nervous system and skeletal system of your body, giving all the different parts of your phone commands and structure. And onto the cooling systems. Computers use fans and liquids for cooling. However, phones are designed differently, as they use less power overall and are pretty efficient. Your phone can simply release the heat into the air. This is actually called passive cooling, and it's basically the same way your cup of tea will cool off after a while. Except to make this faster, in phones they use materials that spread out heat a little bit more quickly. Then, what used to be so painfully visible, the antenna. Your phone does have an antenna to capture all the Wi-Fi and other signals it needs for wireless communications. Although the antenna in your phone is small, it only needs to be big enough to get hit by at least a portion of the waves. And since these waves aren't too large themselves, your phone antenna can be inside your phone instead of sticking out like they used to be. And the reason why an antenna needs to get hit by the waves is because the wave itself makes the electrons in the antenna move up and down to make an electrical signal, which your phone can use. Well, that's actually it for the video. The next video will be about the shell, glass, touchscreen, and battery that are all in your phone. It'll actually also be the last video of the series. Well, life is an experiment, and you are the scientist. Thanks for watching. Bye. RAM about the current program, and then passes it into the PCU. That's a real thing, the PCU. Only it is designed specifically for performing, hey, it needs to be big enough to capture,